Today I'll be telling you about my experience when I tested positive for COVID-19. Yes, I did test positive for COVID-19. So if you are new to my channel, I'm Dr. Geraldine Otmara. I'm currently a GP trainee in the UK, and in my channel I talk about wellness, I talk about productivity and growth. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click the like and the notification button so you will be notified anytime I upload a new video. So what happened? I woke up, one day, and I had no problems at all. I was feeling perfectly fine. I had my shower, I got dressed up for work, and I went to work. Everything was fine, and when I got to work, I noticed that I had developed a bit of runny nose, and my nose was a bit stuffy. I didn't, really think much about it because I thought maybe I had left the fan on, I left the window open, or something like that. I didn't have any fever, I didn't have any cough or headache or anything like that. I continued doing my work for the day because that day I was actually running clinic, so all my appointments were mostly through telephone consultations. I remember ringing one of my patients that morning, and she said over the phone, "Oh doctor, you sound all snuffly, you seem to have caught the cold." I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be fine." So anyway, I continued with my morning consultation, thought nothing about it. Then about an hour, my clinic assistant brought me a steaming cup of hot tea. I realized I couldn't smell my cup of tea because I always love the smell of hot tea, and the first thing I usually do is to take that first smell in before I drink it. So because I had been snuffly all that morning, I was so happy when she got me this cup of tea. Anyway, I tried to smell the cup of tea and I noticed it didn't particularly have any smell. I was like, okay, maybe this is a different brand of tea or something. But I said to myself, no matter what the tea brand is, it must at least have some form of smell. I wasn't really convinced, so I stood up and I tried smelling the alcohol wipes, which have a very strong smell of alcohol, and surprisingly I couldn't smell anything at all. And that was when I got a little bit uncomfortable and a bit worried. I thought maybe I had nasal congestion. It could be why I can't smell anything that much, and because I also had the nasal stuffiness, I felt that could be an explanation to that. So in the past I've had nasal congestion, I've had nasal stuffiness, but I could still smell something. I've never really had a nasal stuffiness that made me not to smell anything at all. So I think those were the concerning things about the symptoms I had that morning. So I also went ahead, I said, okay, let me try and smell my clothes and see whether I could smell my perfume, because I do put on very strong perfume, and I realized I couldn't smell anything. And at that point it kind of like hit me. You may have had COVID. Having complete loss of smell is one of the symptoms. Even if you haven't got cough, you haven't got a fever or anything, losing your sense of smell and losing your sense of taste could be one of the symptoms. So the first thing I did was I told my clinic assistant, like, now you have to keep away from me because I think I need to book a COVID test because I couldn't smell anything. So I wiped down the clinic room, the door handles, the phone, the desk, the PC, everything with antiseptic wipes, things I remember touching just in case somebody walked in. I went online to the government website and I booked for a COVID test because it was a much faster getting one through there. So I immediately got a slot to do the COVID test in the next 1 hour. I had to leave clinic and went straight to get my test done and went straight home to self-isolate after that. So the next day I got an email and I was positive. But I think before I got the test results, I was 95% sure that I was going to be positive anyway, because having a total loss of smell was so unusual. and felt completely different, and it's something I had never experienced before. So I'm going to run through with you guys how the course of my COVID-19 infection went. So day one, the nasal stuffiness continued. I continued to have runny nose. I didn't have any fever or cough. My breathing was completely fine, but I still couldn't smell anything, even the strongest smell in the house that I had. Normally, I mean, I can't tolerate the smell of garlic because I find it very strong. I tried to smell it, but I couldn't smell anything at all. However, I didn't lose my sense of taste that much, but funny enough, the only thing I could taste was only sugar and salt taste. I couldn't taste sour taste, and I couldn't taste anything bitter. It was actually very strange. I still had a good appetite, but food tasted a bit bland to me because I couldn't smell it. And everything I ate either tasted salty or was sugary, and that was all. So day two, I developed a slight frontal headache just around here. It wasn't like the worst headache that I've ever had though. Maybe it was from the nasal congestion and the stuffiness, and maybe a bit of the sneezing I was having, but I wasn't really sure. I just took paracetamol and that helped with it. I still didn't have any fever or cough, but I started feeling a bit tired, like fatigued, and did have some body ache. I was drinking plenty of fluids and still forcing myself to eat something. Then at night, I found that it was difficult for me to sleep. I love my sleep, believe me, and I don't ever have problems or any difficulty falling asleep, but I couldn't sleep at all. And I remember when this first happened, I stayed awake till 4-5 a.m. in the morning. I eventually did sleep off, but only for a few hours, and the sleep I had was so unrefreshing when I woke up. So by day three, the headache still continued. I was now taking the regular paracetamol, and that did help also with the body aches I was having. The body aches were more around my thighs and my shoulder areas. There was still no fever, and I still didn't have any cough. By day four, the headache started improving, and the body ache was a lot better. I wasn't taking any regular paracetamol. My sense of smell and taste was still the same. My appetite was still the same, and I was still managing to eat food. By day 5, my stuffy nose had cleared up. I was no longer having runny nose. The body ache that I was having was also improving. So by day 6, I started to sleep a lot better. The body aches and pains I was having had completely gone. My headache was also not there. The tiredness I was also experiencing was improving. My taste also improved, and I was able to taste bitter and sour taste. At this stage, I felt like I was almost back to normal, except that I couldn't smell anything at all, which I found very, very frustrating. By day 10, I noticed that I could now smell very spicy fried food, like fried plantain or fried fish, something like that. And what I did that helped me smell better was that I found that anytime I opened my mouth, it helped me smell a lot better, believe it or not. I mean, I was just trying out various things that could help me smell as much as I could. I knew that my smell would improve, but I wasn't really sure when it was, and I was just praying that it could come back normal. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to enjoy my food that much because I'm a very, very picky eater. By day 20, fast forward to day 20, so things continue to improve. My smell by day 20 was a lot better, and my smell had returned completely back to normal, which was fantastic. I was not able to enjoy my meals like before, so that was absolutely fantastic. Like you wouldn't really know how much not having your smell is going to affect how much you enjoy your food or how much food you eat. So smell is really important, guys, and when I had mine back, I was like over the moon. So physically, by day 20, I felt perfectly fine. I had already resumed work because I was only meant to self-isolate for 10 days after my positive COVID test result. So that was my timeline, guys, of my COVID-19 event. So all in all, I can say I was lucky. I had a mild form of the coronavirus symptoms, so I was able to manage my symptoms at home using the home care methods I talked about in one of my videos. So if you have not watched that video, click on the link up here and watch it because it will help you a lot. So do know that some people could be asymptomatic and some could have the severe form, But whatever symptoms that you have, if you're not sure about how you feel, make sure that you contact your healthcare provider in your area for further information. So have you had your COVID-19 vaccine? Do you know what it feels like? Are you curious to know what it's like to have this jab? Join me in my next video to find out all about it. So thank you everyone for taking our time to watch this video, and if you enjoyed it, please comment and share with your friends. You never know, who is gonna help. And don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification button, and see you in my next video. Bye now.